Eden Hazard came out of the contest with a grimace 7 minutes from time, his right ankle still resenting the damage inflicted moments earlier by Dale Steven's impenetrable challenge. The Belgian has become accustomed to taping the ice bags on the bench, and once the final whistle sounds the joint would tear, but at least it could be warmed up by the fact that he had inflicted his own injuries on the opposition. This has been Hazard's best moment, one of those exhibitions in which defenders seem hypnotized by their skill and shrink in each of their interventions. The ball seems to be stuck to his instep as he sneaks at full speed through massive rows of markers. The first tackle tends to leave him limping these days, but, like a footballing Gordon Greenidge, he is at his most dangerous point when the limp sets in and the adrenaline flows. For an hour, Brighton and Hove Albion had no answer. Chelsea have had the merit of having recovered late to make the final stages so uncomfortable for Chelsea, after what had originally threatened to be a thriller. Albion's late aggression came close to parity, but he failed to recover the 2-goal deficit Hazard had effectively established. Chelsea had already gone ahead in the early stages, but the Belgian captain will have been particularly pleased with the first goal since early October, as his first 12-game reward was due to Brighton's generosity. Leon Balogun, who replaced the suspended Shane Duffy, scratched a pass from the midfield line to William after half an hour, and the Brazilian simply released the ball for Hazard to load smoothly into vacant territory. His shot came from Matt Ryan's near post, and the keeper's weight instinctively leaned to the other side in anticipation of a shot heading into the other corner. If Hazard is unhappy as a centre-forward, a role he was reluctant to play for Antonio Conte, then no favors are being done with his recent productivity. He could be very important in this position, said Maurizio Sarri, aware that the Hazard has been directly involved in most of his team's league goals this season. He's very capable of going out and playing with his teammates, very capable of creating spaces. Now he is to improve by attacking the box. Hazard's passage through the massive ranks of opponents in the Albion area had already pushed Chelsea forward, a diagonal pass with weight that finally gave Pedro a goal at the far post after a long period of possession to leave Brighton completely terrified. Sarri had stumbled upon a shelf of energy drinks lurking in his technical area in the run-up to that goal, and his gaze focused on the danger dragging through space. By the time he regained his dignity, his team was ahead. It's not that the Italian is going to leave this match completely satisfied. Marcos Alonso would fire the shot at the woodwork, but Chelsea retained the ability to wither from a position of seemingly complete authority. It had cost them at Wolves this month. Such was the ferocity of Brighton's late renaissance, the home side reinforced by Solly March's close-range header from Bernardo Snob, that this could have been a repeat if Hazard had not established a little more freedom of action than at Molino. Alonso could have been dismissed after returning home in March after Yves Bissouma passed the ball, although the pass seemed to be escaping the winger well. David Luiz was also guilty of a petulant boot move that caught Florian Don't. When we feel like we have total control of the match, we are dangerous to ourselves, Sarri said. Suddenly, the level of application and attention is reduced. I think his goal was the first situation in our area in 30 minutes. But the feeling of confidence, of being sure to have control of the match, is dangerous for us. That will have to be addressed. Brighton was able to cling to that late renaissance, despite his frustration that the first hour had been unusually shy and careless. It was as if the home team were still marked by the 4-0 defeat they suffered here last year against these rivals, as they were always on the verge of being opened by 3 strikers without problems. A physically imposing team, who had only lost once in 10 home games in the top flight, seemed to shrink in this company, hampered by the speed and incision of their opponents' passes. And yet, the last half hour, when Don't injected Vale,